Steady.
Thermoskin came about after a fine wool grower in Victoria, Bill Crawford, asked me if it was possible to develop a product that they could put on after sheep were shorn to prevent them suffering hypothermia. And after 4 to 5 years of development work, this is the product that is now eventuated. The product is based on a lanolin derivatives. It has polymers and resins and a solvent. The solvent evaporates off within the first 2 minutes of after application, leaving a residual film, very fine film like a hairspray, that covers the whole animal. The reason we went for the spray-on system, A, it's very quick and convenient. It only takes a second an animal, 2 seconds if they're dawdling. B, that you don't have to worry about your sheep in cold snaps or get out of bed when there's a grazier's alert, and where a lot of people have to shed their animals. In the Eden Monero, they used to only shear sheep for the area they had under the sheds to put them in case it was bad weather. That's now not necessary. So it's a big gain for them. It's very safe. You could eat the product. Once the solvent is gone, you could eat it. It was designed to be built on food products so that we can meet EU standards. And yeah, it's very safe. At the critical stage after shearing, when the sheep are most vulnerable in that first 4 weeks after shearing. It's like me taking your gear off on a cold day. You're going to shiver, and while you're shivering you're putting energy to keep warm. If sheep do that, they're shivering, they're not eating, so they lose weight, they lose condition and possibly will die.
3 or 4 years ago, Henry King of Thermoskin, he conducted a trial here on this property, and that was very convincing. The treated sheep put on, I think it was over 2 kilos, about 15 days. The untreated didn't put on any weight at all, and they were run together on an oat crop, and that convinced me that it was a very good product.
Anyone who shears an animal should use it. It's used for merinos, crossbreeds, donies, goats, even want to put on rabbits and whatever. But anything that you shear. It helps maintain the animal's condition to pre-shorn status to after they've been shorn. Well, ideally it should go on the day they shear, but you can put it on later. It's also being now applied to biologically harvested sheep, and they're putting it on after they take the nets off with the fleece. Just about all the people that have used it, with the treated animals, they've had some weight gain compared to untreated. Even though when we did a comparison trial against coated sheep, after 4 weeks their condition was still far better than the untreated.
When I saw last year in June, I found the sheep never lost weight after shearing, and it was come cold and they didn't run down into the gullies. They stayed around the side of the hills eating.
In this area here, the day temperatures are fairly low in June, July, August, of probably about an average of 12 through the day, and as I say, getting down to possibly -5, 6, 7 at night. So plus you can get those cold snap changes that come up from the southwest. And, they're the ones that are of concern, particularly when you're shearing young sheep at that time of the year. Thermoskin is so good. It guarantees you 100% success. Even putting the sheep out into those sort of conditions, you can sleep well at night and not tear up the sheets, or worse still, having to go out about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and try and get the sheep in. Last year the night that we finished, the night after we finished shearing, got down to -5, and the next morning I was a bit concerned about the young sheep, although they had been thermoskinned. On the way to their paddock, we saw 4-year-old ewes desperate for shelter in the early morning, trying to get away from the cold. We got to the paddock where the young sheep were that had been treated, and they were grazing over 450 acres of country in the one paddock, and that was good enough for me.